So yesterday, the weatherman forecast heavy storms, rain, thunder, lightning for about 6 o'clock this morning. It woke me up. So by 8 o'clock in the morning, that drain was block solid. That drain was block solid. The barn inside here, the rain was coming down so hard, that great big valley gutter that goes down through the middle could not take the volume of water and overflowed. It came down that hard. I kid you not, it absolutely hammered down about 4 times. It just hammered down. The new drain over here, that fella was block solid as well. Everything, all the drains were block solid. So that yard's running with water. The yard the other end was running with water. Thank you. The drains did work until they didn't. So, but I mean, look, you can see the force of water that's been running down through here, because it's been just pushed everything up. It was just so much. Anyway, cleaned all the drains out, put them all back together again. Now coping quite happily with the amount of water that's coming down the yard now, which is just like normal gentle rain. That's not a problem. But yeah, we must have had, with that drain blocked up as well, we had a river going down through here. Added to that, what was overflowing from up there, it was wet. But I will just point the camera over that way. They all stayed dry. That's the most important thing. Right, we're going over to the farm. I'm taking the Land Rover. Come on, Biscuit. Come on, where are you? In you go. I'm taking the Land Rover because there's one piece of road down a lane called Stidcote Lane that when we've had floods like this, the road can be flooded. And I actually dreamt last night, I can remember I was dreaming that my wife was driving her car through a flood and I'm trying to tell her to stop and direct her where it's going, and the water in the flood was halfway up the windscreen. I don't believe in omens and stuff like that, that's all. It was just my mind going, bloody hell, it's raining out there. Let's dream about water. But yeah, I'll take the Land Rover. We're going over to the farm. We're going to go and let the sheep out into the little paddock behind Fifi's cottage today. I hadn't let them out because I didn't know if Abby wanted them let out into the fresher grass and what she was doing of flushing. But Abby came and saw me yesterday with a bit of news. You want to know what she told me, don't you? Land Rover starts. Okay, so Abby's news was, the nub of it is, she's packing in the sheep. She and Henry apparently no longer have the time to look after the sheep. They realised that with just the small number they got, they were never going to make any money at it. Not that I actually thought they were actually doing it to make money. I thought she was doing it so she had something to train her dogs, and it was a hobby for her. So, I mean, they broke even. They didn't lose any money. They broke even, but she's decided with the pressures from work and the amount of work she has to do, I mean, she does do many, many, many hours at work. And with the darker nights and everything now, she's saying that there are days, maybe even a couple of days in a row, which she can't get over and look at them. And she said to me, Dad, hand on heart, she said, I can't do it properly. My job takes up too much time. I cannot give the sheep enough time to do it properly. And I agreed with her. I said, look, if you can't do it properly and you can't look after the stock how you want to, you're better off just not. So that's what she's doing. She's not. So there's a yin and a yang to that. The yin is that I have more hay. Do you remember in the summer we made Abby 106 bales of small bale hay? Well, I think she's fed 6 of them. But it means I have 100 more bales, small bales, so maybe 8 or 10 big bales worth of hay. So that brings me back on my feet a little bit. It also means that I haven't got to make room in sheds in the spring or late winter for lambing. That means I can bring a lot of my kit that would normally be left outside in the winter months. Once I got room in the shed, I can start bringing my kit, putting it under cover. That's the yin. The yang. The yang is we won't see much of Abby because of her work commitments and the time of year and everything else she does. I don't think we're going to see much of her now, which saddens me. But at the end of the day, she's got to live her life the way she wants to, doing what she wants with her work and her commitments and running her house, everything else. At the end of the day, it's her life, and that's how she wants or has to run it. Actually, it's not a case of want to; she has to run it that way. So yeah, you might see her occasionally, but I think Abby will now be a rare occurrence on the farm. So, but there you go. That's the yang. The yang is actually pretty sad, but look at the yin. Before anybody asks, no, there's been no fallout or misunderstanding or argument and nothing like that. This is simply just down to logistics. That's the reason she's doing this. She's, like she said to me, she wants to. She'd love to keep doing the sheep, but with the full-time job, which is what they need right now to pay the bills, because let's face it, all our bills are going up, all the costs of living are going up. There's no way Abby could afford to do less hours. If anything, she has to do more to keep the house running and pay the bills. So, and it's priorities. What comes first, your hobby or keeping a roof over your head? Well, we all know the answer to that. So, yeah. Abby, because I know you'll watch this, you have my full support. I completely agree with your reasoning on what you're doing and why you're doing it. And one day when you want to keep sheep again, let me know and I'll find another farm somewhere else for you to keep them on. Okay, over to the other farm. Well, looking at the field out there, I reckon the road should be clear. So usually if the road up here is flooded, there's a big pond in the middle of that field as well. We'll soon find out. Well, little cars are coming through, no problem. Yeah, all clear. So sometimes this road floods from about where we are now for about 250, 300 meters. It can be like a foot underwater, but not today. I did mention to Abby last night when she came and announced that she was giving up the sheep that her timing was pretty awful, because I just I just put that fence up, so, which I did for a surprise for her so she could put her sheep out here, but oh well, they wanted doing anyway. The cattle are all up around their bale, they seem quite happy. Right. Alright ladies. Hello. Morning. Good morning. Okay, so the choice I got now is, I won't get all these in the trailer in one go. Do I do 2 loads to market, or do I just get a lorry in and take them all in one go? Because basically it's down to me now to get rid of them. Or is there someone local who wants 28 sheep? Well, 27 and a half sheep, because that little thing led down there is pretty much no use to man or beast. So that scratty little thing there, he's, well, somebody want a free pet? You know, it's either that or it's going to the kennels. There's a few lambs there, so hopefully they'll make a few quid. So, pay for the fencing, won't it? I'll see if they'll follow me. They might not. They're not used to my voice. Come on up! No, maybe not. They'll find it when they're ready. The gate's open. Once they find that grass out there, they'll be on that. So I'm in no rush to get rid of these, because they can have the grass out there. The fencing is plenty good enough for sheep, but there's no barbed wire on it. I wouldn't want to put the cattle out there yet. But yeah, sheep can chew it off first. They came in the end. They spotted the gates open. That's it. Right. That's it. Get your heads down. And I better get out of here, because that gate's open as well. Go on then. Well, like I said, it's a bit sad that Abby can't do it. It would have been nice if one of my kids could have done something with the farm, but like I said, she's got to go with the economics of the day, and the economics of the day are she has to work to pay for her mortgage and her house bills, and she just does not have the time, with the extra hours she's got at work, to look after the sheep properly. And this was only ever going to be an experiment, that if it worked she'd carry on, and if it didn't she would stop. So the agreement from the very beginning was, I'll try it, Dad, I'll see if I can do it, and if I can I'll keep going, but you know, if I can't do it properly, then I won't. And we agreed to that. And she saw me last night and basically said, look Dad, I just don't have the time. And especially now the night's drawing in, she said I don't finish work till quite often 6 o'clock. I can't get out to look at the sheep in time because it's dark. I can't ask you to do it because I've got enough to do with my own stuff. And she just didn't feel happy doing half a job. So that was what's brought the decision on. I kind of I kind of thought this might happen. To me, personally, as far as sheep are concerned, it's no big deal. I'm quite happy not to have any sheep on the farm. But Abby's not really interested in the cattle. She was interested in sheep. She still wants to work with sheep, but she said just the time right now for her it's not right. It's just everything that's going on in the world, the economics, the cost of everything. She's just got to earn every penny she can at work. She can't afford to reduce her hours to look after a few hobby sheep. So it's like I said, I agree with her. Better to not do it at all than to only do it half a job. So I doff my hat to her, because it was a brave thing she did yesterday to come and tell me she was going to stop it. She thought I was going to be upset. I'm not upset. I'm a bit disappointed that she can't do it. But I'm not disappointed for me. I'm disappointed for her because she really wanted to. But yeah, at the end of the day, most important thing is you've got to keep the roof over your head and you've got to keep your bills paid. And if your hobby is going to stop you from doing that, ain't no good. Morning. Morning. Yeah, weatherman says it's not going to rain again. You might be right.